Okay, so Shadowrun for this game. It's pretty interesting. Because he's not an official character, but he does feel official. That's how good this mode actually is. He has a lot of varying movement options. He has 2 teleports when he's in the air, where he can go up, he can go forward, or he can go downwards. The downwards one isn't used nearly as much. And you might have noticed a reticle as well. That is a homing attack, which is mapped to the same button. So if you teleport badly, you will be punished for it, yada yada yada. But if you get a good homing attack, and you've used both teleports or even just one, I think you'll get one back. Which for some platforming helps greatly. We're not going to really see that used a lot. As it stands, that's the basics of Shadow in this run. He is really interesting movement compared to a lot of characters, I feel. Which makes him probably actually the most fun character to play in this game, even if he has a mod. Yeah. So speaking of the homing attack, that's just done the first 2 stages, just like that. So now moving on to the first boss, which we're just gonna keep looping the same pattern over and over and over and over again, and we're done. So the game wasn't actually designed with a homing attack in mind. So there's a lot of fights in this game where Shadow will break it. Just for the sheer fact he has a homing attack. And speaking of breaking things, this stage. There's a lot of gimmicks in this stage that Shadow can outright avoid interacting with that waste time just because of his teleports. Especially in Act 2. But like there's supposed to be gusts of wind you take from these pipes. But Shadow doesn't need to, because he can generally always teleport where he needs to go, rather than needing to waste time waiting for the gust of wind to appear. Right, this room here, it's a lot of gusts you're supposed to wait for. We're just going to teleport up, tip my homing attack onto something there, not entirely sure what, but managed to save it. Right, just like that. Now for Act 2, this is where I'm using the gimmick gets interesting. You're supposed to jump up to the platform on the left there, and get a lot of height before you're able to go down. But with Shadow, you can just sort of jump and then teleport while he's under the water, and get you exactly where you need to go. And that's about the only time where that really matters, because all the other times you're supposed to go under the water to do something, we skip. There is no need for Shadow to do it. We jump all the way over there, not going to teleport in that room in case we get shot. And that's one thing about this stage, if you manage to land in the water when you're not supposed to, you do lose quite a lot of time. Right there, that was a messed up teleport. Right, avoid that enemy, jump down into this one. This one you'll always get enough height to get through anyway from that platform. But we're just going to avoid really dealing with it, really losing a lot of time just because we can just teleport through it. Right here, we're going to go just through. Right here's another time you're supposed to go under, but we're just going to avoid it. We're going to avoid going into that room, just teleport over to that spring, catch the good cycle. Then we're still waiting for this one anyway. And that's us done this stage essentially. So I'm going to jump up, grab this life just in case, because I'll probably need it later. So for this boss, we should hopefully be able to do the same as the first one, but it's a little harder, because he moves a lot faster before you can hit him. Now for his last one, he'll just bounce in place. That was nearly dead, but fine. And now we're moving on to Deep Sea, which is a fully underwater stage. Well, not fully, but we're going to try and avoid the water as much as we can, because it will greatly slow you down. Which, this is a speedrun, we're not trying to go slow. That's fine. Those crab enemies can get annoying sometimes, but if you know where they are, you can anticipate them better. We'll pretend that was a meaningful damage boost. Jump, get that spring just with a homing attack. Speed back to the teleport. Try and jump around that, get stuck on the drone. Jump around it there, fine. Then here, just going to jump straight up to this one, ignore the first platform completely, and hope we get a good cycle here. Decent, not the fastest I can get, actually getting hit by the drone, but we're making good progress, we're fine. We're going to go straight down here, and now we're just a straight shot from the door ring, as long as nothing bad goes wrong here. We're not going to be teleporting much at this section, except right here, because if we hit one of these bombs, we lose a lot of time, because we're underwater. Yep, that's exactly why we don't want to lose time, because you could just start drowning. No one wants that. So right here, we've got a lot of the shoots we saw briefly in the first act. Got quite a fair few of these in this stage. But we're starting out underwater, but as long as we stick to the left, we can keep teleporting and be fine for this section. Now for this part, just try and take these platforms, extra careful. We don't omen attack any of those bombs. We'll go around, trying to avoid those fish. Now for this one, we're going to teleport up, meaningfully hit the bomb so we land faster. And go up through that way. Usually try not to hit a fish there, but if we need to, we need to. Didn't catch the good cycle here, but that means we'll catch the good cycle on that one. And right here, we're coming into another room with crushers, but I'm going to play it safe. Just try and play it safe. But yeah, you can just do that. It can be really risky to just go through the room like that. So I don't fully advise doing it all the time, unless you're absolutely sure you can do it. And then we're at a full. We're going to drop down, hit the wall apparently, but that's fine. Straight shot, and grab a set of springs here. And then now starts warships. We grab the extra life that's to the left here, because the next stage is coming up could lose a lot of lives, thanks to the retry system in the game. If I fall from a platform, the chances are I'm retrying from a checkpoint, which will still cost a life. Now we're coming up to the deep sea boss. It's a pretty simple boss. It's only dip underwater, come back up and shoot missiles and electricity at you. Just a case of trying to find where he is before it gets too much of a problem. The chances are it's really not going to be a problem. After the 5 hits, he's going to pop up with clones, and if you can't tell them apart by their sprite, it's really hard to. The one that shoots electricity is the real Eggman. One hit left. Yep, see there's a clone, but just hit there and we're done. So now moving on to Castle Eggman, which is quite a difficult stage, because if fall off platform at any point, you are losing a significant amount of time. Unless you retry from a checkpoint, which will cost a life. We'll wait that cycle out to make sure I land here, and we fell. Just like that. So thankfully there was a checkpoint really close by there. But that's still time loss and a life loss. But thankfully this game does let you just retry from the checkpoint, rather than having to start from the start of the stage. That checkpoint is very important because of this room here. Okay, we made it. Always dubious about that jump, but we made it. We'll go down here. And right here there's a boardwalk with spiky balls, we just don't need to jump. We're going to be fine. We can grab that shield just in case, but we probably don't need it. These stairs usually get clipped on at some point. And there's your Dark Soul Shrine. That was close. That's not how you're meant to do that. But I saved it. Fine. Now so we jump to these springs. And now the castle's going to start crumbling away. Actually, I wonder. Okay, I can. Actually, didn't know that. That's good to know. So the castle's crumbling, we've got shield enemies trying to push us off, spikes reappearing and reappearing, and we're done. You really want to be careful where you're teleporting at the end though, just because of the way those enemies work. So we'll get Castle Eggman 2, pretty straightforward stage, mostly the same as 1, just want to stick to a path and try and make sure you don't fall from it. And this is where I'm going to mention, because it's very important in this stage, that Shadow's teleport has invincibility, which helps so much in getting around all these spike balls that are scattered throughout the stage, because my god, there is a lot of them. And it helps us keep moving fast and going on the part of the stage that we want to go on, rather than wasting time waiting for the spike balls to stop moving and all that good stuff. Okay, we can take that hit, that's fine. Yep, that room is one of the rooms I'm talking about. You don't need to wait on the spike balls moving or anything. You can just keep going. This room right here is absolutely the worst one you can fall into. If you fall in that room, you're losing so much time unless you press retry. Like, it's not even funny how much time you're losing. I'm going to teleport through. Land in there, that's fine. I'm just going to veer to the right. I'm going to go left here. Pretty simple for that room. This room can be tricky. You want to time your teleport right so that you can damage boost, or well, not damage boost, but get your iframes through there. And we're just going to keep going. Should be able to get through fine. Yep. That knight can be pretty annoying with the way he stands sometimes. Now we're in the last room of the stage. Usually you need to start climbing up and all that, but hopefully if I don't mess this, okay, I'm just going to take it for the platform, it's fine. And we're out. And now we're moving on to Castle Edgeman 3, which this is probably the hardest boss in the game, in my opinion. Because so much can just go wrong. These spike balls constantly get in your way. Eggman can crush you if you don't move away from him after you hit him in time. Thankfully Shadow can jump over these spike balls if need be, but some other characters aren't as lucky as that. If you're playing as Knuckles, you're not jumping over these spike balls, don't even try it. It's not even worth trying to climb the wall. You can home and attack the switches as well, don't recommend trying that. Because God knows what you'll actually hit, or just get hit by the spike balls. You end up dying straight. So after the first 5 hits, you can only burst out. So we're just going to teleport over, not get hit. Hopefully. That's bad. Yep. Okay. So the switches are always on a set position. There's no mixing them up or anything. It's usually always counterclockwise to you. If not always, just because the spike balls are moving clockwise, so if you can move counterclockwise with them, you'll be fine. That's 3. And then go back over to red. And then over to yellow for the last one. Now we're on to the last fates. Now last time I didn't get enough height. There we go. And then we just teleport back over to the stand. So refresh teleport. And we're done. Very simple. So now we're moving on to Arid Canyon, which is a interesting stage. We've got these wind tunnels to deal with. There's pulleys to deal with. But for the most part, we're ignoring the pulleys. At the end of this act, we're going to need to deal with some of them, but we're not going to be dealing with them for a long time. There, as you saw, because I grabbed on that one, it drastically slowed me down and started sending me the wrong way. So they're just really, we don't want to deal with them as much as we can. If we land in these wind tunnels with a teleport, we'll keep a lot of speed. So that's why I've done that there. For some reason there's a spring on top of that one. So just going to ignore it and take the spring. Right here, it's supposed to be quite a long platforming section. We need to go all the way around to get to this platform. But Shadow, we just take the teleport, go straight up to the dynamite and blow it up. Here, spin dash under here, hit those springs, and fly all the way over to the last part of the stage, where we do need to deal with the police. But hopefully, if I can get these jumps right, we won't be dealing with them for long. We're going to jump as much as we can, just so we don't deal with them for long. Okay, that's fine. And then we're just going to teleport over here, and we're out. Now for Act 2, there's a fair few auto scrollers scattered about, which sadly there's nothing we can really do about to make faster. So using the tactic there with that wind, we use teleport into it. When we get through, jump over that gate. Sometimes we can try and not clip that wall, but that's fine. And then here, we're going to spin dash at the bottom of this hill to get up here. We're going to ignore these springs, because they don't actually help. And then here, we're going to jump into this one normally. You can teleport into it if we're playing this bit safe, because you will just die. Teleport into that one, so we can just fly straight up here. Try not to blow up this TNT, and then get into the first auto scroller. This one we can kind of skip. We jump here, it will blow up faster, and then we'll get out faster. And then this is the last part of the stage. And there's a great time for donations. So coming up, we'll get the boss fight. There's no Eggman this time. It's actually 5, which is interesting. Only hope we don't get shot there, so we can hit him. So for the first phase, we're going to jump about, and we're just going to pray we home and attack him without him hitting us. Because it's really bad if he sends us all the way over there. Okay, I think he's at 3. No, that was 5. Okay, we get a free hit there once he pulls up the train. Now the fight's extremely dangerous. Because if we get hit, or have a bad homing attack or teleport, we could just die. Like so. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that was 5. Okay. 6, 7. That was 8. Okay, we've got a ring. Just wait for him. Okay, we're fine. Nope. Teleported off as I killed him. And that's 4, 5. So we're going to wait front. Those bombs can actually hurt you, so you need to time this teleport carefully. Okay, one more hit. Where is it? Okay, we're done. Now if we watch the background closely, I think it's that side. Yep, we did bunk. We're now moving into the last stretch of the game. Red Volcano, probably my favourite stage, but sadly there's only one act. That's fine, can deal with that. There's a lot of damage boosting that goes on in this stage. But the hard part is damage boosting on top of the lava is a dangerous task. Because if any of your rings touch the lava, you lose them. There is a 0% chance you're getting them back. This part, we're supposed to take one of the spear balls and drive on it, but we're not going to bother. Just going to move over, keep moving, take a little bit of a damage boost, so that's fine. Dropping down here is fine, there's a checkpoint. Going to zip, and zip again. Hopefully don't hit that fire. Yep. Teleport over to that platform. Hopefully get up there, fine. Yep. Going to teleport up to this one. Teleport through here. And then we're going to jump onto this ball this time. This one you can do without needing the ball. I started doing it without it, so I'm not going to bother. This is pretty straightforward though. We jump off at this point, and then we just jump. And for this section, if we get hit, we get hit. It's no big deal. Got through without getting hit, so that's good. And here, probably one of the hardest bits in the stage. Now we're going to go up, and we're going to get this top route. Okay, that's fine. We can just jump up. It's for Shadow. I'm not sure how many characters can actually go up like that, but okay, take that damage, we're fine. Checkpoint. This section is interesting. That's death, yep. That sucks, but we're not that far behind. So, yeah, for some reason, on this section, you can just run on some parts of the lava. I'm not entirely sure why. You can. Doesn't make sense to me, but that's how the game works. So now we're coming up to Egg Rock, the last real set of action stages in the game. We're going to teleport through that laser ball. I'm not going to deal with it. Those platforms we stepped as well are all lined with crushers, so if you stand on them, a set period of time before they will come down and crush you. Right here, we're just damage boost through this room. It's not worth trying to do it properly. And then right here, the camera is supposed to flip with the gravity, but with the settings I've got, it doesn't happen, because it greatly disorientates me and I don't like it. So we're going to get through this room, jump where the shadows are, if you jump anywhere else you're dead. And that's not an exaggeration, you absolutely just die. Camera likes to get stuck there. And right here, just going to skip dealing with that whole section. And when we come up here, we're going to have to deal with some crushers. And if we get clipped on the wall at any point, we die. Right here, we jump off at the last possible second. And then for this room, we're going to jump across these platforms, but we're going to skip some of them. And then jump through the hole down here. If we touch the wall at this part, get hit, and we probably die. Sometimes you don't hit that spring properly, that's fine. And then for this room, we're going to skip a fair chunk of it thanks to this spring. We get up to this platform. Then we're going to teleport, and then get enough momentum to just get through the room, get to the end. And now for Act 2, at the start, you're supposed to go left or right, but Shadow can just teleport straight up, get through that door. No hassle required. Now, for the outside sections. These sections can be annoying. Once you're outside, you've got a 5-second countdown, which you probably saw from the last stage as well. You've got 5 seconds before you die, but if you land in a blue sphere or something, okay, that's fine. If you land in a blue sphere or room, whatever you want to call it, you'll regain your oxygen. You'll be fine. But chances are, landing in those rooms is slow, so we want to try and avoid landing in them as much as we can. And trying to teleport here is not a good idea. You just end up home and attacking that enemy, even though it's through a piece of glass. And right here, we're going to avoid going outside again. And just going up this chute. Shadow. Go up the chute. Be really careful here, there's no walls at the side past a certain point. Right there. So we're going to keep going. We hit the switch, but we're going to keep going so that we get the activation for a spin dash. And now this door is open, without needing to go through any of the hassle other characters do. And right here, we're just going to jump and go straight through that laser wall, without needing to deal with any of the snipers. And once we come out here, there's a small platforming section here, and I mean really small. And then we're just going to jump here, get those rings apparently, and then drop down here, and then put the power back on. And once we do this, there is an elevator in the middle. And then, after we've done that, there was a platform above us. These enemies can be annoying. They can easily hit you and ruin your life. And we're just going to keep going. Hopefully don't get hit there. Those lasers. Supposed to flip gravity there again, but we don't because of settings. And now here is where the fun begins. We're dealing with Mega Man blocks. In a momentum based platformer. And these blocks get thin. And once we get on that one, teleport over here fine and hit the switch. And we're good. This bit, you can jump around these crushers. Don't go through there yet. Wait until it's the red part. Oh, well, that's death. That's fine. Oh, well, that's not fine. Okay, fine. And that's the end of the stage. As long as we don't soft lock in this side of this elevator, which has happened a few times, and I'm not entirely sure why it happens. Okay, and there's no boss fight for this stage, but what we've got coming up next is just as entertaining. Look who it is, guys. We've got a Metal Sonic race, which the Shadow is an absolute joke of a race. Skip that entire room just by teleporting. It's great. When you jump over these spikes, relatively unscathed. If you're slow, Metal Sonic will open a path through them. If you're slow, you'll open a path through those ones, but just jump up here and get around them before he gets to them. Get through there fine. Get through those lasers fine. We're going to ignore that gravity switch, because we're just going to skip this room. Even though we took damage there, we're fine. And just teleport up. That gravity switch we need to hit. We grab some rings here. This path is predetermined by them. And then we're going to go straight ahead. And that is it. That is the race. I think the time limit you get is about a 120 something, I think. You don't need to actually beat him, but it helps if you do. For this fight, it's kind of annoying with Shadow, just for the way the homing attack works when we're over a bottomless pit. I'm sure to save that, but fine. And now he's learning to overdrive. This phase, honestly, is not threatening whatsoever. You can stand still. If it hits you, just pick up the rings. Like, you will be fine. The most threatening part about this boss fight is not dying over the bottomless pit. If you really want to, you can do this, but there's really no need. We're at 1 hit left. Hopefully I don't fudge it. Okay, we're done. We've got 1 boss fight left, and the game is over. Now I just need to find where the door is. I always forget. Or lose it. There we go. I'm going to pick up this extra life, just in case. Hold on, where is it? And we'll see Eggman has all the Tails animals. You haven't picked any up. Don't tell him. But the end result of the game is the same anyway. Okay. There's no secret boss fight for this game, sadly. Oh, him stopping there is kind of annoying. We want to get him through these tubes, or liquid, so that we can start hitting him. And the way we're going to hit him is we're going to home an attack and teleport out of there. Because a lot of his hits will send you flying, and especially during the pitch phase of the boss fight, where these barriers will disappear. That you do not want to get hit. Okay, his electric's back up, so we're going to wait for the green liquid to come back. And hopefully try and bait him into it. Nope. Dropping that bomb is annoying, because that releases a lot of fire. And now the barriers are gone. Which means we are nearly done. There we go. That's it. And GG. Time ends as soon as this cutscene starts. So 3, 2, 1, time. Nope, not yet actually. Time. There we go. So that's Shadow the Hedgehog for Sonic Robo Blast 2. I hope anyone watching this had fun watching it. Hope my webcam didn't freak out or anything. That is a PP actually, but that is a really fun one.